Oh, hi, I didn't see you there. I was thinking about something you don't want to know. Okay, so today we are going to be looking at the files of Between, seeing all the stems and stuff, seeing all the crazy work that goes in behind the scenes, and you could say, between the scenes. Okay, sorry, I'm sorry. I'm going to be making a lot of jokes like that today, probably. But this is part of my Between Forever project, because like this is my most popular album of all time, other than the ones that are taken down now. So like I want people to like really extend. I want people to enjoy this era, and I really want to extend it out. While I'm doing other eras, I want this to be kind of like my side project, almost between and everything about it. Like I'm making a visual album. I'm gonna make a deluxe, and I mean hopefully, and I plan on making so much more than just that. But I want to do this today because it's really special. I also want to do this kind of thing. What we're gonna do today for other videos. And yeah, I mean, this is just cool. Yeah. The main inspiration that made me do this, someone I've credited, of course, is Date Glow. He's an artist who makes great indie rock stuff. I love it. Always have loved it. One of my favorite artists of all time. Always have loved him. I've listened to his music for a while. I'll link it in the description, hopefully, if I can remember. And he just makes great stuff. And he does this thing where he does how I made videos, where he shows the insides of his songs. And I think that's really cool as a producer, and I wish a lot more people would show the stems of their songs. I think it makes great content, first of all, and I think as a producer, it's really nice to look at that stuff and also learn about producing. Like, that's how I learned a lot of my stuff with producing, is through his videos. So I think that's really cool, and I wanted to kind of copy that behavior here today, because I think that's a very nice thing to do for the audience. So that's one reason. Also, the second reason, sometimes I get comments that'll be like, is this AI? It's like, no. Buddy, it's experimental music, it's not AI. Not everything is AI just because it's weird. I mean, like, oh, whatever. That's a conversation for another day. But I also get comments like, did you even make this? Or like, you know, that one time that I publicly beefed with someone that was probably most likely a troll, but still kind of upset me, that were like, you don't make your music, whatever. So this is Between Forever. And I guess we just get started with my project. I want to say my dad helped me set up this setup, but I think it's really cool. Do you like it? I mean, I think it looks great. Okay. Why am I using the mouse? Right, it's my phone. So, because I make all my music on my phone, sadly. Okay, the first song on here is track 0. This is, like 11 bars long, so, like, not much to talk about here. But here is where I'll talk about the main inspirations for Between and how they tie into the album. I had this little inspiration board thing that I made that was kind of my main vibe for Between. It kind of put together some ideas for what I want to make. And Between, the original vibe was like weirdcore, but I was like, nah, let's just do like abstract, modern, artsy kind of vibe. Like, that was kind of the vibe, and I thought I wanted to do something really abstract for the cover. So for the cover, it was just a blue square, and then there was like a pixelated face of me. But the pixelated face of me, I just took a picture of my face, but like without, you know, my short hair. Now it was my long hair. And I cut out each part of my face, like my skin, my nose, my eyes, my mouth, my hair, and then I like kind of put them together, but like not really, so that they're kind of separated, and then pixelated it, and it looked really, really weird. Really weird stuff. So I just thought, you know, I mean, that's it. And it was pretty easy. Like, it was the first ideas that came to mind. And I usually do a lot of different covers before I find the final one. But, like, I was like, this is it. This is good. But either ways, the kind of vibe for the first song is what the cover sounded like to me. The cover sounded like a very basic, very like, I don't know, empty kind of sound. And I really liked this right here. Just have it start off with just one piano note, just a C, just a literal C note. I'm just gonna play the whole thing. Yeah, okay, so it starts with a single C note. That's the whole vibe. And then just a big pause. And then it goes up. Goes kind of off key. Not off key, but dissonant. Then that's like all the notes. Kind of. Almost all the notes. I kind of regret it. I mean, it sets the vibe and it's used in actually other songs, but I feel like a lot of people clicked on the album, heard this song, and then were like, who is this? And then jumped off. And it's like, guys, you have to watch the whole thing. You have to get to at least the second song, man. It's just the intro. It's really short for a reason. You gotta just oh my god, the attention span of people is crazy now. If I find a random artist that made an album, I'm gonna watch the whole thing immediately. Cause, they're a small artist and they're cool, and maybe I'll find a new indie artist and I wanna be cool. What if you said your favorite artist is Florian Hallways to someone and they were like, who is that? And then you can say oh, you shouldn't know. But whatever. I mean, it's always cool to say that your favorite artist is an artist that nobody had ever heard of. Even if the artist is lame like me. So whatever. Then we go to track 1. Track 1 starts with the sound. I feel like I made it too quiet. I did make it too quiet. But the sound is let me turn it up just for the purpose of this. So I was at a hotel. I was actually at multiple hotels when I made this album. Most of it, at least. It was I was at a hotel with my mom during a storm that happened here in Texas. And this storm was really bad. So we went to a hotel because they had actual power and electricity and internet for days. When we didn't have internet for a week almost. So I made a lot of this album there, and then we went to another hotel for vacation, made a lot of the other tracks, including Destruction of a Sound Wall, which is a great track that I think I mean, everybody can agree it's probably my best song. So yeah, most of this album was created in a hotel, which is great because I love hotels, honestly. I think they're super cool. But this was in the hotel. I recorded this. This was just the faucet running in the hotel. And then it goes. So let's break that down, because that is a lot. Jesus. I might have to come back to this some other time. So the first thing that we have here is that this little sound is that is a cup falling. That is just one of those paper cups that they give you at the hotel just falling. And I recorded it. And then the next part, that's all it is. It's just, and then I broke it apart so it was on beat. And then it goes again. This is the cup. Yeah, that's the cup falling in reverse. And then this thing is the record button on GarageBand that I've recorded. I just recorded the record button. And the sound it makes, like the countdown, the metronome, the metronome on GarageBand. That's the word I was looking for, the metronome. And it's not many people record their metronome before it happens. Uh, whatever. I just thought it was a cool idea. Make it a little meta. And then yeah, and then I just have it coming on sometimes around the song, that same kind of thing. Okay, so that's like the little sound effects I added. And then this, I added a little drum sample as well. And those are like little percussion things from this drum set, which is Midnight Vanguard on GarageBand. And then it goes into these drums, which is the main drum line, Dark Arts. I love Dark Arts in GarageBand, and it's such a clicky, nice, like satisfying texture to it. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I think that's the whole thing for the rest of the song. I think it changes here. No, that's the whole thing for the rest of the song. Yeah. I'm actually, something I'm trying to work on is making my drums more, less repetitive, but it's not something I do a lot. I used to make them much more diverse. But either ways, this little thing is a synth bass. And this like kind of hints at the melody for the song. I want to show you the melody for the song in case you want to like look at it. I think it's a really cool melody. This is it right here. I don't know how it was made. It just came out of me. I just started pressing notes. Then I pressed some more notes, and I was like, yeah, let's change these notes. And it just came out of me, and it was like this. I didn't think about it much, and it just happened to be just a really cool melody. Yeah, this is what it is. The computer's glitching. So yeah, that's a synth bass, but I just pitched it up. Not pitched it up, but I made it a higher octave than it should be. Because, I don't know, I thought it would be cool. And then I added echo to it, turned on the treble because it was piercing my ears. I actually turned out a lot of my treble. I hate treble, kinda. I don't like treble. It's one of my enemies. A treble can be used very well, but like, I just... I'm more of a bass person. I like bass. And then... yeah. So that, it kind of goes along with the drums like this. Wow, this is glitching a lot. Okay, hold up. Pause. Okay. Okay, so also... I love automation. Like, I work with it so much in my work. So you see, with the pause, the echo was still going when the pause and the drums happen. So I turned down the automation so that I'm just on like a ba 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 ba. You know, like the echo just stops immediately when the drums stop. So that's hinting at the main lead line. And then this is hinting at the bass line, which is the same melody, but it's like, you know, bassy. Wow, it's just not playing. There we go. A really glitchy setup. Oh my god. This might be a problem. But anyways, all that. So all together, sounds like... And then of course this is going on. It sounded very dark to me. Like I imagine like walking through suburbia but at nighttime when everyone's asleep. Okay, this little thing is so cool. I think it's basically, I mean it's shortened, but it's basically the same melody. It is like such a weird little synth. It sounds like something from Tira Whack's Whack World album. Sounds like something that a synth that would be in there. Yes, the connect chords. So the connect chords for this, to make this sound, usually it's just this. But that's boring. Why would you want to do that? That's amazing. So it's like, it's little, sounds like a little squid. Okay, then we go into the verse. We go into the verse or whatever. Okay, then this is where we get the really annoying lead thing that I made, but it's also kind of actually epic. Yeah. And then that's it, and it was really easy to play. Then we go back to the chorus, it's just this exact same thing, but add all of the components together. Then it goes into here, and now it's like fading out. This is like the outro of the first part of the song. Kind of goes on for a bit too long, I think, but then it goes. We got the drums. And I think I was originally planning for that to end in a crazy drop, but I just didn't do it. And instead I made it go into... So this, my cat was sleeping next to me purring. And I wanted to record his purrs, but when I did record his purrs, I didn't record it with having like this thing on, so it just recorded the entire song. So like it recorded this, it recorded the ending. So that's the echo, and then I recorded it, and then I pitched it up with a little pitch filter thing, and created this little echo sound. So I just recorded the echo from the song with my iPhone. And then that's him purring, my little cat Hamilton. Yep, that's just a purring sound. I actually use this purring in a lot of songs because it's just so cute. It kind of sounds actually menacing right here, but that's not the point. Okay, and then we go into the part which I was originally planning every song to have something like this at the end, but it got repetitive, so I didn't do it. But I wanted to go kind of orchestral by the end, so we got this little electric bass thing. Yeah, it sounds really nice. I love that kind of bass thing. I use it a lot. That exact bass picked. Yeah, I thought that little flute melody was really nice. It kind of sounded like medieval, kind of in a way, like Renaissance. You know, those are those are two completely different time periods. You know, but they kind of, I don't know, kind of felt like both of those kind of feeling. And then, so that little flute thing goes into the drop. Here, it has this. Yeah. That's like a little electronic drum thing. Minimalist, which is a great little drum sound pack thing. Then we got the glockenspiel, saying the same melody. I love glockenspiels. And then French horn. I love horns. And then this. These are not headbanging music. But it sounds, you know, I should have called, okay. I'm gonna be honest, I should have called the song wonky. That's an incredibly British thing to say. but it kind of works. Wonky is what I want, kind of what it sounded like, and I was thinking of the word, and I was like, it's something like that. It's something like, and I thought of like funky. I was like, yeah, that's probably it. That's probably what I was thinking about. It wasn't. I was thinking about wonky, but funky is what I came up with, and honestly, it's kind of not bad. It's a nice little name. I mean, it's a name. And then it goes into this incredibly long fade out, just like torturously long. I should definitely have shortened that. But the vibe for this album was actually originally to make a super, super not complex, just super basic, no effort album, that I would release on a random weekday that is not Friday like people usually do, on a random time of the day, which is not 12 a.m. like people usually do. And I just did that, but I didn't do the part where I was like, this is a no effort dumb album. I did do actually some of it in the earlier songs with like Funky having that horrible outro. But like, I guess that's kind of the vibe of the album, is kind of like, not no effort, but it's kind of weird. You know, it's kind of weird. It doesn't sound natural sometimes, so leaving those little mistakes in there makes it a little more charming. And I was like, okay, well, I'm going to do this, and it's not going to go anywhere. Like, that's, like, specifically what I wanted. I specifically wanted it to be, like, only my dedicated fans would see this. And it ended up being my most popular 4 Boys album. Yay! I cannot win! I know. I don't actually care, though, because it is a great album, and I think one of my best, if not my best. So, like, I'm glad it got popular. But I'm not saying I didn't want the fame. That wasn't like my goal. But it happened, and great. It's great. Okay, now this is Utopian Dystopia. This is a utopian dystopian song. And yeah, it's like, that name kind of just came to me randomly, and I was like, man, what's an oxymoron that I can make that kind of fits with this song? Because I wanted to make oxymorons in the album, like medieval western. Those are two different time periods and aesthetics, but they're just, together now. But this is utopian dystopia, which is an oxymoron. And I thought it really worked because this song kind of felt like dystopian, but it also felt kind of positive. I don't know. It was a very weird vibe. So I just decided, yeah, utopian dystopia. Okay. Here we go. So before I play anything, that really cool sound that you're hearing, that's panning, and I don't do it a lot because I too much thought. Basically, I just don't do it a lot, and that's all. I really wish I did it more, but I don't, so I don't. And I might do it more because I really enjoyed the sound. So, like, you see this is panned to the right. So this little sound. Yeah, it sounds nice. But it's saying half of the melody, and then this is saying the other half. And together, they make this. So that's the full melody. Now, modern 808s are great, right? Like, super classic drum set. I kind of don't like them. At least not anymore. I use them a whole lot, and it is annoying to me now. But they're really good if you destroy them, I will say that. If you destroyed them, they're really good. But for this one, I just decided I wanted to use them clean, cut, dry, just... You'll notice a lot of my drum patterns actually sound kind of the same kind of format of like hi-hats, hi-hats are usually just like all the way, just a straight line of hi-hats, but I sometimes try to do stuff different. So I also have note repeat on here. So like sometimes after a snare, the hi-hat will go like super fast. And then I have these kicks. So this was actually a pretty different drum beat for me because it's more basic than I usually do. Like, usually when I do my kick snare patterns, it's usually pretty all over the place, not really formulated. But this one was just a very basic kick, snare, kick, snare, kick, snare. And then it gets weird. It's like kick, snare, kick, snare, snare, kick, whatever. But yeah, it just kind of sounded nice. But you'll notice the thing that I do a lot here with my drum beats is I'll have like one bit of it is just the regular pattern. Second bit of it, third bit of it is regular pattern. Sometimes I'll have like a clap kind of situation right there. So first normal, second a little weird, third normal with clap sometimes, and fourth normal, but at the end everything just because I want it to sound like it's an ending. I like when it sounds. Yeah, it's kind of like my drum roll, but I don't know how to do drum rolls very well, so that's all I do. Yeah, snare, or kick. And then yeah, there's the synth bass thing. Once again, very synthy, kind of cartoonish. Okay, then we have this. That's a really cool sound. I actually don't remember much of what I did here. Yeah, well, what I did here was says an arpeggiated synth. I can never pronounce that correctly. I'm so sorry if I didn't. Arpeggiated synth or arpeggiated, I don't know, whatever. I'm sure it's not the latter, but it comes naturally, kind of. But I honestly actually didn't do much to make it sound that way. I just found it like it was, and I liked it. So yeah. And then it makes the really clicky kind of sound. And then we have this that comes in. Yeah. I thought it sounded kind of twinkly and nice. I wanted to sound like kind of glistening kind of vibe. So I picked this little thing that sounds kind of glistening, also kind of 8-bit kind of sounding. Yeah, and I will show you, this is the melody for the song in case you want to look at it, because I also want to show the melodies as well. And then this, and then something else happens. This is just a pad. That's all this is. And then we have this. So yeah, basically for this, I just got the weirdest synth I could find, like just weirdest like soundscape, like ambient synth. And then I use this little thing that allows me to slide. And I basically just like made it just really weird, and I made it like sound very like large, like this is a big room, or it's a big giant dystopian wasteland, which was the vibe for the song. But it's also utopian somehow. I don't know. But then it creates this really beautiful sound. So that is literal horror movie stuff right there. Like, I love horror movies. It's my favorite genre. Anybody knows that about me. But, like, I always am constantly inspired by horror and sci-fi as well. Sci-fi is my second. Um, so like, yeah, it definitely just like it has that horror aspect of it, of like really crazy, almost terrifying sounds. Yeah, it's pretty creepy actually. It's actually really creepy. And then here comes when everything gets super crazy. Like, I wanted to just keep on rising and rising. So, what happened here was I got rid of this little synth. Remember the other half of the basic melody. And then I just got the bass version of it. So it's just the bow, 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 instead of the so it's just the and then that's what makes it sound like it's kind of like shortening the melody now, even though it's not. It's just the other half of it is only being used. It's shortening the melody, kind of. It makes it sound like it, at least. So I use this little sound, and usually I'll tone the synth down when I use it, because I use it a lot. But, like, right now I just wanted to have actually a lot of treble because I wanted it to sound kind of anxiety-inducing. This little bit right here. It sounds actually kind of pretty if it just wasn't so high-pitched. Once again, the vibe was glistening, you know? And then we go here, and we got these distorted cymbals. Now, this I use a lot. When I am making a song and I want to have a big chorus, I very often will do distorted cymbals, just going, you know, that kind of vibe. And I guess I added a snare there as well. I don't know why I did that. It's barely even hearable. Yeah, completely anxiety-inducing. So yeah, I did the same thing for the transition to the next part of the song that I did with Funky, and it sounds like this. I recorded the echo, and then I just tapped on the phone speaker, just like, yeah. And then it creates that kind of weird sound, because this is the echo of this. Of course, pitched up. And then, yeah. And then I do the tapping. Okay, now we're only here with this little, just a 2-note melody. Okay, then we get to these really cool drum beats. So I used to use this little drum pack like a lot. I kind of go through phases with like which drum beats I use the most, but for a while it was this. I love this little sound. It sounds like, I don't know, it just sounds cool. It just sounds kind of dusty, you know, in a really cool way. Yeah. There are tons of crumbs on my chair, and it's super annoying. That's why I keep on looking down, because there's so many crumbs on my chair. It's crazy. Yeah. This synth is definitely a synth. And honestly, at this point, there's not really much here to talk about, because it kind of just happened. But, yeah. So, yeah, I'm trying to say something to say about this one, but it's really just a basic 2-note melody thing. And I wanted I definitely wanted it to feel like the melody was getting shorter until the point where then I switch up the beat again and go into here, which is the little orchestral section like I was talking about in Funky. It's not orchestral instruments, but it's, you know, it's less synthy, you know, a less synthy section. So yeah, we got the little guitar, little bass, and then yeah, and then we go here and we have this little piano. This is actually a piano, just bit crushed, if you didn't know. Yeah. And then yeah, I use that little clicky arpeggiated synth again. Yeah, and then I like to add for my outros. I like all the drums to be gone in the outros, and then just have like elements from the song just playing until they all fade out and it's just one and then to nothing. And then I was like, I really want to end the song, but it felt too quiet and slow for the ending that I wanted for the song, because the rest of it like are really loud and anxiety inducing. So I was like, why don't I just put a jump scare at it and end the song, just a random jump scare at the ending. Yeah, I just put the craziest part of the horror synth that I was talking about and just created this little jump scare thing, plus the little recorded echo. And they created that really crazy outro at the end that I love. Just the, like, it's like a solemn, just like a little, and then it's just, or whatever. God, that was awful. That sounded horrible. I'm so sorry to anybody who had headphones on when I did that. I apologize with all my dear heart. Okay. Then we have, okay, this is the second interlude in the album. Well, I guess the first was an intro, so it technically wasn't an interlude because it's, like, not in between songs. But whatever. Huh. Wait. Did I just say between? Sorry, I'm sorry. I said in between, actually. Which was the original title for the album, but I thought I wanted to do something a little, like, less... I don't know, in between is usually the thing everybody says. Nobody says between, but I just said between because it's a little more experimental. Actually, that was my dad's idea, to just call it just between. So thanks to him. He's really good with naming things. He does that a lot. So yeah, here I have this little thing. I often don't use this little synth, even though I really like it, because it has that little drone thing in the background that's kind of off-key. Okay, not off-key, but like off-key, dissonant with the rest of the notes that you're playing, so kind of off-key, you know? So yeah, with this one, okay, so the title looks like it's called L Melody, and I'll have to change that soon, but it was actually supposed to be EL Melody, which stands for Everyone's Leaving Melody. If you know Everyone's Leaving, that is one of my worst albums of all time. But it had that really cool song, The Dark Forest Hypothesis, and I was like, yeah, I really wanted to use that melody again, so I use this again here as kind of a self-referential kind of thing. All of the songs played live without like quantization or anything. Yeah, it's just this pad, and then it goes ba 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 ba, which is the melody. So yeah, it is a little pluck thing, does the pluck thing, blah blah blah, really basic sound. Yeah. So this, I actually make this sound like a lot because it's a really nice sound. This is a very common synth. If like I reuse my favorite synths a lot, but this is a very common synth. It's the Outback Sunset, which will normally sound very nice and pretty like this. But yeah, for this, I made it distorted. Yeah, but like everything just goes chaos, and it's really just me pressing random buttons. It wasn't really calculated at all at this point. But like, yeah, and then it just builds up and rises and just that transitions into the next track, which is Lucky. Lucky is the brightest song on this album. Lots to break down here. Okay, so first of all, we got this really nice little synth thing. This is the bass. It serves as the bass for the song. It's kind of like, I wanted the song to feel kind of bouncy and light. And so like, it has like, this little bow, 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 bow. So the pauses add a little extra dynamics and bounce to it. So that's kind of what I did here by making the pauses and the bass just more dynamic, I guess. And then we got the drums. And you see how the pauses are kind of going along with the drum pattern. Yeah, and it's a Prismatica drum, which is really nice for really happy melodies, happy songs. That's what I got going. Yeah. So usually the pad will sound like this, but I did this and then put the cutoff up just a bit more than the original preset, so that it sounds like soft, but like also like not subtle, you know? Okay. I was just doing the chord progression. So yeah, and the song just kind of comes in like right there, just boom. Which is kind of going along with the transition of the melody where it goes like boom, you know? And you're just thrust into this kind of like really happy upbeat pad, unlike melody. This is some really nice arpeggiated stuff. But this is a much softer sound, but I still made it visible, of course. But it sounds like if this was like connected, if this was disconnected from the rest of the song, I can make this into like a lo-fi thing if I slowed it down a bit. It's really beautiful. It's kind of trippy as well, but not really. Then we also get these really nice keys. Really, I know it's like it's kind of a cheesy chord progression, but it's also kind of beautiful, even though it's kind of cheesy. So it's like layering the little soft things, the little soft elements like the chords, these chords, and this little arpeggiated thing with the harder elements with as the bass and the drum, creating a very nice, lighthearted but upbeat sound. Okay, then it goes to just... So this is the thing, you'll notice in a lot of my songs, I make the verses of the songs just drum and bass. Just that's it, just drums and bass, and then I'll add a second thing on there during the chorus. So, not during the chorus, sorry, during the verse. So that right there, this is where the story of the song comes in. I think it started like this summer. I hate, I don't know if I should talk about it. I won't talk about the mental health aspect of it a lot. There's this kind of vibe that I get sometimes where it'll be really bright and happy outside, and everybody will be super positive around me, and there's just, but it's really quiet inside, and it feels like everything is just perfectly perfect, and everything's fine, but it feels like there's something missing. Or maybe that there's something that I just can't find that's terribly wrong. It's a horrible state of mind that I have. But it happens sometimes. It was happening the other week. and I try to ignore it, but or processes or whatever. But either ways, this is what the song is kind of about. So sometimes I like to think, not like, of course, but what I process it as is like it's a perfectly sunny day, but there's a shadow in the corner, and that's what the song is kind of representing. Um, so the shadow in the corner of the song is in the verses. So in the choruses, everything is bright and happy, but in the verses, there's like little glitches. And by the end of the song, we'll get to like the outro and what it means by the end of the song. But by the end of the song, it's at the point where we've kind of escaped this monster because nothing really happens, and we're lucky. But that doesn't mean it won't come around next time. And that's kind of the vibe for it. Because like I'll just go ahead and skip since I'm telling the story now. The last I don't end the chord progression and I make it end here. So it's unresolved. It's an unresolved the song ends unresolved. And it creates this kind of feeling of you were lucky, you didn't get hurt, but that doesn't mean you'll always be lucky. So that's kind of the vibe. Whatever. Why am I even talking? Let's talk about the music. So yeah, that's the kind of glitch thing of like this, because the melody is all white keys, you know, just basic pop girl music, whatever. But here we have it going. This is completely off track of the melody. Yeah. So this thing, I did the little FX thing, did the little, you know, all this. Yeah, you can actually see it playing live now, which is a really cool thing. Yeah, so that's just the little thing that I did for the FX there. And then, okay, and then I had this, I got a random, I did a soundtrack for a film my dad made. I have this little soundtrack thing that I just pitched up and then distorted to make. It's very dissonant and off-key and eerie, and it definitely doesn't go with the chord progression. So it's like something's coming up, the shadow is coming closer, but then no, we're good, okay, we're good. So that's kind of the eerie vibe that's added to it. Okay, and then this, I remember this. This is such a cool synth thing. Yeah, it's like a plucky but also patty kind of synth situation. It's a lead. So that was originally going to be a guitar solo, but I figured that wouldn't work for the song. I feel like it would have been better if it was a synth, because this is a very synthy song. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so that's just my crazy glitch that I just did there. Okay, and then I use this little voice thing a lot. So this is actually a Vox synth. This is someone's voice, just distorted and pitched up. You can find it in the vocals section of the synths. Really great stuff that I love using. And it's just a really nice, cute little synth that I use for happy songs. Sometimes I use it for darker songs, but most of the time it's for happy songs. And then it just goes crazy. Yeah, and then again, it's the soundtrack piece that is, Okay, it just goes into the chorus and stuff, and it's pretty fairly, it just repeats, and then we get the outro, no drums, really beautiful outro, and then like I said, with the story, you're lucky, but maybe not next time. Moving on to the next song. This is track 5, also known as Medieval Western, another oxymoron, which is kind of a theme, like Utopia and Dystopia. This song was... There's no synths in this song, actually, I don't think. Yeah, no synths at all. But I just thought it sounded really nice to have a song with no synths in the album, considering there's almost every song has like completely synths. So no synths in here. I think actually, yeah, the drums are a synthetic drum, but that doesn't really matter. Melodically, it's not synthy at all. So yeah, it just goes. Start. There's no real story behind this song. Actually there is. It's kind of inspired by Kyoto, by, not Phoebe Bridgers, but C418, a super neat track from volume, beta, I think, of the Minecraft soundtrack. It's a really great song. I just really happen to like it above others. So we got this space melody. So something cool I did here, to make the guitars and stuff sound more natural and like they're actually being played live, is I made them a little bit off-center, you see. Yeah. And then we got... This is the bass again, but pitched up. Or an octave, not pitch. I didn't use any pitching or distortion on it. Okay, and then we get the really cool thing. This is what made me think of Western, even though the rest of the song kind of feels medieval in a way. This is the Western thing. Again, I made the notes come in off-center so that it sounded more natural, as you can see. Some good tips to use to make guitar sound more natural when you don't have a real guitar on you or don't know how to play it. Yeah. Okay, then we get the flute. No, that's a clarinet, actually. You can control the reverb best, like the individual bits of it, by doing track reverb here. I personally, for this one, I had the preset in mind that I needed, and so I just used a preset of reverb. And so the preset of reverb that I use is Moondom. Out of all of these, Moondom is the biggest room sound. Here we go. Yeah. Now that's crazy. So, definitely gonna reduce that now, because put it back to its original state. Yeah. Okay. Then we got the drums. They're very basic drums. They're just nothing at all complex about those drums, unlike other songs. Yeah, it's just kind of the basic, just boots and cats and boots and cats and boots and cats and boots and cats. Okay, whatever. Okay, now we have the glockenspiel, which again I love glockenspiels, and I often use them for those kinds of songs. It makes a lot of the the lower melodies contrast with the higher melodies. Okay, and then we go here, it's just bass and guitar. Whoops. And then we have this little cool thing that I do. Sometimes I just like to spice things up, and just... It's really just a simple little trick to spice things up, just add a pause in the middle of nowhere. Okay, then we have this. This also has reverb as well. This is where most of the reverb comes from. Yeah, you can kind of hear it in the background. So, yeah, this song is overall very, it was sounding, okay. The reason I added the reverb is because the song sounded so condensed and so boxy. I wanted it to sound fluid and large. So I just added a bit of reverb. Okay. Alright, then we'll go to the verses. And this has a ton of reverb on it too. Making that kind of a little bit of reverb as we're fading out kind of sound. And then it's just drums, which I love ending songs with just drums. That's a really cool thing that I used to do more, but I do it here. Yeah, and then I love doing the 4 little beats at the end of the song, or the start of the song sometimes. Like, it's just bum, 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 bum. You know. Okay, and then that transitions into track 6. Track 6 is called Trance. I actually recently posted a music video for this. So that actually means there's only 2 more songs that I have to complete for between. Or not complete, but complete the music video. So here we go. This song has a lot of story. Ooh, I just bit my tongue. First of all, we got this synth. I didn't really know what I wanted to do for this track, so I just grabbed a random synth for this one. It was classic 80s. It usually sounds like this. Turned it into this. And then just pressed one note. And it was like kind of headache inducing, but also kind of like really cool in a way. So it goes here, and then we get this other thing to make it sound more throbbing than it already sounds. This is like some horror movie sounds, again, like Utopia and Dystopia. This is definitely the most scary song on the album, in my opinion. Yeah, and then it drops into the beats. These beats are really cool. Yeah, this is low-tech funk on GarageBand. Sounds really cool. And it just gives this awesome drop, and it's barely even a really worked up drop. It just comes in. It's like, oh my god! So at this point, I actually added in bass last, which was kind of weird. But at this point in the song, I was like, man, I don't know what to do. I feel like this has to be kind of an interlude thing, because I have no idea what I'm doing here. I don't know what in the world I'm going to do next. And I was like staring at the screen, and I was just staring at it, and just playing the song on loop. I was like, oh, you know, the song is putting me in a trance. So that came with the vocals. Don't like to speak in my music much. I definitely don't sing in my music because I used to do that, but I don't do that anymore. But I don't like to speak in my music as well, like I used to do with, even projects this year. So I just want to keep it very limited. But here we do have speaking. This is my voice with Bit Crusher on it.
I am putting you in a trance. Sleep.
Yeah, trance, sleep, and then I just repeat that. Yeah, and then that is what I was like, yeah, this song feels like a trance. It's the way, I guess it's throbbing. It's a throbbing feeling, like you just can't help but just stare at it, you know? So, yeah. Then we get the bass. The bass is actually not in the key of the song, and that's a really cool part of it. It's just a melody that I really liked, that I wanted to put in it. Yeah, and you can tell this is not quantized. I did not quantize the bass. I just made it. I just played it, honestly, because I didn't feel like it needed to be quantized. But yeah, it's hold up. It goes like. Yeah, it's that kind of vibe. I just think it's a really nice melody, even though it's not in the key of the song.
I am putting you in a trance.
Sleep. Trance. Sleep. Okay? And then it just kind of loops like that until it goes into here, where I have Another synth that is not quantized, and this is again
Ram.
a classic super soft synth like in Funky. So yeah, the vibe of the song was like mad scientist, but also like trance kind of vibes. So yeah, I definitely got the kind of like going insane kind of vibe going here with that little synth that goes, and then it ends with the song ends with just this. Then we go into the outro. We take away this, and then it's kind of more centered and more calm, even though it's not really calm. It ends, and yeah, there we go. That was that. Now we go to the final track. Man, this track's gonna take me a long time to explain. Oh, I'm looking forward to it. This is Destruction of a Sound Wall. Now, let me talk about that name real quick. I think people are confused sometimes. Destruction of a Sound Wall. This whole album, I've been building up this kind of sound idea. And then in this song, I bring together all of the different elements of this album and then break them and smash them and destroy them. And that was kind of the vibe for the song. Even the song itself, like it starts off and it's this whole section of this beautiful cinematic kind of piece, and then it goes south, and then it goes west, and then it goes crazy, and then it breaks until it's nothing. That's the kind of vibe for this song. So we start off with track 0. This is literally just track 0. The one note. So this is literally just track 0, but I layered track 0 on top of track 0 so that I would create a double sound, just so it wouldn't sound like I just made the entire, just put the song in the song. So I wanted to like edit it just a little bit so it wouldn't feel like repetitive in the album. Yeah, and then I also added that bit at the end, which is not inside of the original track 0. I keep on calling it track 0. This is actually called on Spotify and streaming services piano break. So I keep on calling it track 0. I'm so sorry. It's the real name is track 0, but it's called on streaming services piano break. So this is piano break that I use, and then I do the little cut thing, and then it goes into this. Yeah. Anyways, it's a very nice, just simple drum pattern that goes right here. Yeah, very nice and simple. And then we have this, which is the synth that I was using. And actually, I can actually play this on piano. I just learned it. It's really nice. Yeah, this chord progression is really nice. It kind of just happened. And then I have this little guitar thing that goes, so yeah, yeah, that's the vibe. So yeah, this is very like, kind of like, this is very like, I don't know how to say this, like, there's a lot of like call and response things in this little melody. Really beautiful, kind of sad stuff. Yeah, I'll just let that speak for itself. Okay, and then we get this add-on. This is a Dusty Record synth. Just setting the bass notes of the chord progression. So the cinematic, this little cinematic piece thing is slowly building up and building up and building up until it drops. We'll get there soon. But now we're adding in more extreme elements. So more extreme elements. Now we're getting... There's a fly. Now we're getting more extreme, more loud elements, like this hard-hitting bass. Which also to create a throbbing feeling like a trance, I made the notes a little separated. As you can see there. Okay, now we're getting really big. So the original melody for this was just like the... nothing. And then now it's... very synthwave, very 80s. Okay, now we get this. Kind of dissonant, but it's also kind of working. Yeah, I just edited that right there in case I ever do more stuff with it. Yeah, but, yeah, it's that kind of vibe. It's kind of really high, but I think that's kind of the point. Okay, then we get future strings. Yeah, so that begins to sound like a very, like, oh, this is so calm, man. This is just do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti. Do. But I extended it out so that it would sound like it's constantly rising. That's the vibe. I know, turn it off, right? But that's kind of the vibe. Okay, then we get this. This was played live. Yeah, this was not quantized, at all. Yeah, for this, I was just constantly rising. And this is only the first part of the song, you gotta admit it. This is a 10-minute song. So, next, before we get to the break, I want to tell you about something. This is a song that I want to show you is, I think, almost exactly 10 minutes long. Hold up, why did I do this? Time ruler, right? So look here, I made it so that, look, if we zoom and look at the top, the very top, it is almost exactly 10 minutes long. I mean, yeah, I mean, it's 10 minutes long, honestly. It is like only off by a few milliseconds, I think. So, like, it's definitely like, this is a exactly 10-minute long song, which is really cool. That was the original concept for the song. That's all I had, was exactly 10 minutes, and then I just made the rest of the song. So yeah, then it breaks. Somebody tell me what that is in Morse code. I want to know. I don't think it actually is anything, but if it is, tell me, because I don't know. It just kind of sounds like it. Okay, and then, of course, part 2. This is dark and sinister. Yeah, and then it's just that one bass, like, trance, which has that kind of, like, drone thing. Then we get completely different melody than the first part. There we go. Okay, you got drums now. Once again, like Utopia and Dystopia, see, I'm trying to bring these things together. It has the modern 808 drum, clean cut, no distortion like I like it, but it's there, and it's like Utopia and Dystopia. So I'm really trying to bring in every single element that I can from the album. And breaking it down. Okay, here we go. This is... I'm so excited to talk about the rest of the song. Okay. Yeah, definitely villain music coded. Yeah, so crazy pad stuff. It goes away. And at this point, it feels like it's about to, like, drop and end. We're going to the second part, right? Nope. Drums come back after this part. Okay, then we get this again, and then, okay, this is my favorite part. So this song has a sample of this meme that I saw on a meme compilation. And this meme is of this kid screaming they're not an imposter on Among Us. And the guy's like, no, you are the imposter, and it's like an adult or whatever, and I just thought it was really funny, so I sampled it, but it also was like, the kid was screaming, so I thought it was really funny, so let's see if we can try to hear it. I'm not the imposter. So I just thought, I mean, that's mean, but I think it's really funny. So we added that in there. Yeah, you can even hear him say it in that little clip. I'm not the imposter. I bet I've just ruined the song for you if you liked that song before. Yeah, he's saying, I'm not the imposter. I just ruined the song for you, I'm sorry. It's chaotic. Yeah, then we get the chops of just, I'm not the, Okay, and then we transition to the next part with the Among Us stream. So this little thing, this is something you'll hear in a lot of my older music. This is strings, actually. These are violins. This is actually like an actual thing. Right? That's a violin. You can see, but I take all of this out. Take all of this out. Whatever, I don't know how to play the violin, so instead I distort it, because that's what I do with things I don't know how to do. I distort them. So you get this? You add all these things on here, and it creates this, this sound. And then if you play them like this, it sounds really cool. So I used to use that in every song. If you go to my first debut album, Haunted, you'll see this a lot. It's used a lot. I think it's really cool. So let me show this drum pattern. This is the drum pattern right here. So I'll be honest with this one, I actually didn't make this drum pattern like I did with the other ones. This is a preset drum pattern, because I honestly at this point was just too tired to make anymore. So this is the third part, just a very nice, just pad drone thing, but it's actually not a synth, it's a violin. Because I love distorting things. So this is actually just a bass. It's not a bass actually. Sorry, I meant it's an actual synth lead. But I made it into a bass by going super low, which you can do with almost anything. And then I created that sound. So yeah, different melody from the rest of the parts that you've heard. So you remember me saying that I'll use the thing that I said in EL Melody that I use a lot, the Outback Sunset synth. So usually the thing that I use the most is the distorted version that creates that sound. But this time I just used the regular version, but I used it low. So this creates this chord progression, and it sounds like just a massive cosmic horror raining down upon you. Techno bass! Hey! Yeah, and then it just fades out into just the drums. Fourth part. This part is the outro for the album. I mean, this whole song is the outro for the album, but this is when the album comes to a close. The thing about me is, I'll mention it in this one, my most important process of making an album for me personally is the last song, and specifically the very last moments of the last song. So much goes into making an album, but if you don't have a good ending, for me personally, that ruins the album. And I just can't bear to listen to it as an album, and so I just listen to like a few songs from it. You will always hear me say my favorite songs from albums are the last songs. It's because most times people do it correctly, and I love when people do it correctly because I really like endings. I really like outros. It's just the thing that appeals to me in art creation. Endings and outros are cool. And so this is just like, the whole album, we've gone from that first track, track 0, that's just a simple, just bass, no, just C, just bop, bop, bop. You know, we've just gone from that very basic, and we've gone up and down and crazy all around this album. Even in this song, we've gone from just that little bop, bop, into just like the boom. And now we are falling all the way back to where we started with the album. Just a very simple, just drums. Just a very simple drum loop. Now we bring back the beginning of this song and beginning of the album. So yeah, we end the album with just this crazy sequence of distortion. Everything that we've ever known in this album distorts and corrupts into this mass accumulation of horror. That's the 10-minute long song. That's a wrap. Oh my god, we did it. We covered Between. This will take years to edit. Oh my god. Yay! Between Forever. And hey guys, I know this seems like it's it. Trust me, you're not experiencing the last of it. This isn't even the beginning of the end. This is just the beginning of the middle of Between Forever. Alright, love doing this. I'm definitely going to do this more, but first on my EPs, until I can figure out a way to make this much faster. This was time consuming. I did kind of enjoy this, but I also kind of didn't. I'll just put it plain and simple. I didn't enjoy this as much as I thought it would. I may just make it like song by song, but I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, that is Between. That is Destruction of Sound Wall. This is the beginning of Between Forever. I will see you some other time. Bye.